Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wake Cat Sports. We're talking hockey. So far, the Red Wings year has gone well. We're kind of going to go over the first half since it is the All-Star break and before their game on Saturday. But so far, the Wings have done well this year.
Oh yeah, done very well. And like I said, I'm really excited. We have a brutal stretch coming up, though. Play Vancouver twice, Edmonton, uh, the Kraken, and
Flames.
and who?
Flames and Avalanche.
Yeah, Flames and Avalanche. I mean, we're this is going to be a tough stretch. And hopefully we can come out of this at least 500 over the next 6 games.
500 for the month of February would be fine because you only got 10 games for February.
Next 12 points we get. That's what I'm kind of hoping for, just to get past a certain stretch. I'm just curious who's out there. Do you think that Yzerman might go after? I mean, this team is pretty much, the lineup is pretty much set.
Yeah, I don't know what we
can do.
I don't know what we could do because there's
other than to get a bona fide all-star goaltender. That's about the only area.
You either improve at goaltending or you feel that you can improve with your defense. But offensively, you're good. There isn't much you can do. And they're played well. So far through the first half of the year, up to the All-Star break, they're 26-18-6, sitting in 5th place in the Atlantic, which is also the 8th place in the East. So they are currently sitting in a wild card spot to end that first half of the year. Well, a little past for the first half of the year. Sitting at 50 games. Both Boston and Florida have a game less than you, while Toronto has 2 games less than you. So Toronto could take a little bit of a lead going, but we also aren't playing until Saturday, so they'll play a couple games before.
You think they could go kind of I'm drawing a blank here. This guy's a superstar. Won the Norris last year.
Norris Trophy?
The old guy, the old defense.
Carlson.
Pittsburgh looks like they're going to be out of this playoffs. Can you imagine adding him to our power play unit? I mean, you'd have Kane, Carlson. Like, oh my God, they'd be unstoppable.
No, I don't think we would get.
And that would be just like, our defense sucks. We ain't gonna worry about it. Let's just add another sucky defenseman who can score a lot of points.
We have to end up
seeing Pittsburgh doesn't seem to be benefiting from him.
We have to end up seeing how the rest of how this month goes will determine how this trade deadline might go.
They're already making tons of deals. Eric Lindholm went to Vancouver, which is like, wow. I mean, they're already stacked. That team is just something else. It's going to be fun to watch. Well, it may not be fun to watch the Wings play them. They might kick the upper level.
So at the moment, we only have a 4-point lead on the Islanders. From when I recorded this, Pittsburgh is 7 points back, along with New Jersey and Washington, New Jersey struggling too. New Jersey was supposed to be a fantastic team, and they've struggled.
Yeah, they're keeping up with, by the time we play on Saturday night, these teams will have caught up to us game-wise, I think, or pretty close too.
Yes, a lot of the teams that are sitting down there, like even like a Buffalo, well,
we should have a better
Buffalo is at 49, but Washington and New Jersey are both at 47. Pittsburgh's at 46. Pittsburgh wins 4 games. They're right with us, so we're kind of all sitting in the same spot.
I'm just surprised. I think maybe Pittsburgh's time is done. I've always been a huge fan of Crosby. I just think maybe Father Time's caught up to him, and this was their last gasp, going out and getting Carlson and hoping that he would, put them in a better. But they haven't looked good. Or I mean, they don't look as good as I thought they were.
Teams I think we can count out for the rest of the year are Columbus and Ottawa, sitting at the bottom of the East at 42 points.
Although they said Ottawa's been on kind of a tear lately, but
they would have to go on a massive run to even sniff the playoffs.
You have to pass about 6 or 7 teams.
They have a lot more than 6 teams.
Wow.
They had be 7 teams. 7 teams to even get to the 8th spot. So
yeah, probably not going to happen. But we could drop. I mean, like I said, we somehow got to keep winning, keep getting points whenever we can.
Montreal and Buffalo are on life support, sitting at 48 points. I'm not going to say I'm counting them out because they're only 5 games out, but they're kind of on life support for what they need to do for the month of February to get themselves in the right position.
Toronto is not playing well.
Toronto at the moment, 10 games above 500. They're currently, I believe, on a losing streak, though. They've lost one in a row. So, I mean, Toronto themselves, they're probably the ones we're going to be fighting the most. Through their last few games of January, they won. They won a couple games. They beat the Jets twice. The Jets are a good team, along with the Kraken, and then they lost 6-4 to the Canucks to end the month of January. They had their one game and they lost to the Islanders to start the month of February before the All-Star break. But they're facing the Stars, and then they face the Senators, Blues, Flyers, Ducks, Blues again, Coyotes. So they're also kind of going through a weird stretch where they're actually going to have a little bit of an easier time.
Yeah, a lot easier time
than we are.
It's going to be tough keeping up with that.
But
I'm just curious, who do you think is out there that we could get?
I don't know if there's anybody.
Do you think Gibson is an upgrade?
I would. Yeah, I think if you could get Gibson to replace Husso, I think you could be better
than Lyon.
Well, Linen's playing well,
right?
So I wouldn't want to get rid of Linen.
No, I don't want to get rid of him either. But,
so
I mean, do you think Gibson would be an upgrade though?
I think he would be an upgrade at goaltending. I think he's just stuck in a bad spot.
Gibson not to start.
Well, yeah, he would probably start playing more than Linen. Yeah, but you would have two good goalies that you could rotate through.
Well, that's fine as long as we know.
I just don't know what you would do with Reimer in that case.
Reimer would get thrown to the curb. That's what he would.
But when you're looking at it, even the Lightning ahead of us right now, they're going to play the Rangers, who are struggling a little bit right now. They kind of lost a few in a row. Then they're playing the Islanders, Blue Jackets, Bruins, Avalanche, Panthers. So they're also kind of going through not the easiest month that they could, also having those winnable games. We're kind of going through a stretch where a lot of the teams are good, and we're going to actually have to play well to beat them, because when you are facing teams like the Canucks, the Oilers, Flames, Kraken, Avalanche.
I can't believe we're saying that about Vancouver, man. They went from bottom dwellers to being phenomenal in a year.
If you can go 500 through your next 6, your last 4 of the month are Blues, Blackhawks, Capitals, Islanders. All fairly winnable games, in my opinion, that you should be able to do.
Yes.
And even though the Blues are about where you're at, Blackhawks suck, Capitals are a few games below you, and the Islanders are always struggling to win in regulation.
It's been hard. We've been wrong pretty much with our predictions all year long. The Wings seem to play really well against the better teams, and seem to suck against teams we think they should beat.
I just don't know how they're going to get off to a good start with not playing. From basically, they haven't played.
Patrick Kane will be back.
They haven't played a game this month, so they haven't played since the 31st. So you're going to have 10 days off till you go play the best team in the league right now.
Right.
If not one of the best teams.
Play a couple times before he plays you.
And who's going to have a couple games to get themselves back into the groove.
Right. They're
before
going to be back in the groove, and you're going to be like, boo.
And you only play one home game, and then by Tuesday you're on the west side of Canada playing Edmonton at 9:00 at night. And then you play.
This is going to be brutal. This is going to be a brutal stretch. I hope the Wings can just find a way to get
They did not.
Out of the next 12 minutes.
Their West Coast trip for Canada was not timed in the right spot. I don't even know the last time they swept the West Coast of Canada. They did it for the first time in a few years for California, but I don't know the last time they went to the western part of Canada and swept all their teams and beat those 3. I mean, I think you could beat the Oilers and the Flames. I mean, the Oilers are hot. They've won 16 straight. So, right. I mean, they're also in that position.
Oh, Oilers are amazing.
But you are going to have to play well the rest of the year. They've done fantastic the first half. I think they're about what we wanted them to be.
What, the playoffs start in what?
April.
Late April?
Late April.
Okay, so we got about 10 more weeks?
So you have, you got all February, minus 1 week in February.
3 weeks in February, 4 weeks in March.
And then
2 weeks.
2 weeks in February. 2 weeks in April.
So about 9 weeks left. Wow. Let's go, boys.
And you have 32 games left.
32 points is 64 points.
So
I think you're going to.
How many points do you think they need to make the playoffs?
for, I would say, 40 at least.
So how many points
How
at
many
the end of
points
the
they
year?
got now?
How many points at the end of the year? They got 59 or 58. How many points at the end of the year do they need to have?
58. I think they're going to need 37 points at least.
You think 37 more points?
37 points will get them in the playoffs, I believe.
So you are saying that's about in the mid 90s. For my prediction to be right, they only got to win 20 games. 20 out of their last 32.
That's great. That would be awesome.
For my prediction to be right of 99.
What would mine be if I had to? Let's see.
Yours was lower. You're predicting around 90.
Yeah.
So you only need to win 15 more for your prediction to kind of be right.
I want 37 points. I'm thinking to get to the playoffs. That would be, they'd have to win how many games to get 37 points?
You get 37 points.
About 17
they're going to need to win 17. For my prediction at the beginning of the year to be right, they need to win 20 out of 32.
Let's do it! Come on!
And they would be at 98. You lose,
and you're going to get a few 1-point tie games along the way.
Exactly.
So
I don't think it's improbable for them to reach 100 points.
No, it's not impossible, but that would be amazing if they did that.
So basically, 21 wins gets you 100.
All right.
So 21 out of the last 32. If you think that they can play
that 100 should be automatic in the playoffs.
If you think they can play that well the rest of the year, win 21 more games, that would actually be 47 wins to end the year.
That would be amazing.
It would be 47, whatever at the end of the year. If you got there strictly,
I guess I'm looking at more like right now, probably be more like 42, 43 wins.
So what you're saying is they're not going to win 20 more games. They're going to win about 16 to 18 more games. Which I think, again, that's probably more likely. I mean, 16 would be 500 the rest of the way.
I guess I'm not asking much. I would like to see them be about 6 to 7 games above 500 the rest of the way.
Well, if they finish 500 to end the year, they're going to finish 8 games above 500.
Right. I think they should be above 500 the rest of the year too. I mean, maybe they're 8 games above. I would like to see them in the 13 to 15 range above 500. So
they would need to be a little bit above. They would have to win about 20 games.
Okay.
20 games out of the last 20. So let's say we don't go to overtime the rest of the year. You win 20 games, so you're 20-12. You will have won 46 games, and you would have lost 30 games. Awesome. Be 46, 30, and 6. And obviously some of those 30s might end up being more of an overtime loss, so you get a couple extra points in that.
And we'll see. I'm just, like I said, I don't know who they're going to trade unless it's.
I see goaltending or maybe a defenseman, but I don't see offense being anything of a worry. Because, I mean, again, and if you go up, like I said, you're going to be fighting for that third spot with Tampa, but you're only a point behind. So you could end up, if you beat Vancouver, you're right back into that third place spot, depending on how the week goes. And then, again, you're controlling your own destiny to a point with where you're at. You do keep winning, you keep in the playoffs, or you start losing and you fall out.
Right.
Which is what we don't want. We want playoff hockey again.
Right. And we've been, they're feeding off the Lions' energy. The Lions' success they see with this town was like, through that, they want to keep it going. And then, in another 6 weeks, we got Tiger baseball, buddy.
And they might end up also playing well. We have to see how that goes. But we'll throw our predictions with that, too.
Feed off the roar that was the Lions.
But hopefully,
keep this Detroit sports thing going.
Hopefully, April will be fun with the Wings and Tigers, and then the draft and all that happening at the same time.
We forget about the Pistons or not.
We don't care about the Pistons. Yeah. But with all that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.